Hola chicos y chicas, me llamo Señor Zorro y estoy aquí para enseñar a ustedes regular present tense verb. There are three types of verbs, AR, ER, and IR. AR, ER, and IR verbs all have different conjugations. In yo form, AR verb endings change to an O, an as in tu form, an a in el, ella form, an amos in nosotros form, an ais in vosotros form, and an an in ellos, ellas, ustedes form. In ER verbs, the yo form is the same, but all in AR form that were A's are now changed to E's. IR form is the same as ER, except for nosotros and vosotros form, where the ending is imos for nosotros and is for the ending of vosotros. One example is andar, which means to walk. To conjugate andar into yo form, you would say ando, as in the sentence yo ando al parque. Another example is comer, which is an ER ending verb that means to eat. If you wanted to say Señor Zorro eats a steak in Spanish, you would say Señor Zorro come un bistec. An IR verb example is vivir, which means to live. Vivimos en la playa means we live on the beach. There's also reflexive verbs in which the action is being done to something or someone, like in the verb callarse, which means to quiet oneself. To conjugate a reflexive verb, the pronoun can be put at the beginning of the conjugated verb. For example, callarse can be conjugated to mean they become quiet, as se callan. Another reflexive verb is mirarse, which means to look at oneself. To say he looks at himself, you would say él se mira.
¡Hola! Estamos aquí para hablar con ustedes sobre los verbos irregulares.
The verbs that are like no others.
You see, desafortunadamente,
Unfortunately,
not all verbs follow the conjugating formulas that Señor Zorro taught you.
they are diferentes.
One example is the verb tener, to have.
If you conjugated it regularly, it would be teno, tenes, tene, tenemos, tenéis, y tenen.
But since it's irregular, the conjugations are yo tengo, tú tienes, usted, él, ella tiene, nosotros tenemos, vosotros tenéis, y ustedes tienen. You might say, tengo una mochila roja. I have a red book bag.
Other examples of irregular verbs are querer y decir.
Hola a todos. Soy burbujas y me encantan verbos. A veces, verbs are stem changing. This is a form of irregularity. There are three types of stem changing verbs: E to IE, O to UE, and E to I. This means that the verb changes spelling in all but the nosotros and vosotros forms. One example of E to IE is the verb perder, to lose. The conjugations are yo pierdo, tú pierdes, él, ella pierde, nosotros perdemos, vosotros perdéis, y ustedes pierden. One example of O to UE is poder, to be able to. The conjugations are yo puedo, tú puedes, él, ella puede, nosotros podemos, vosotros podéis, y ustedes pueden. One example of E to I is servir, to serve. The conjugations are yo sirvo, tú sirves, él, ella sirve, nosotros servimos, vosotros servéis, y ustedes sirven. So, to say I serve french fries, say yo sirvo papas fritas.